screaming outside of your house into a megaphone. You walk outside to find out that he is with a television crew, and they are sending you and your family on a 1-week vacation, and during that time, he is going to demolish your home and build you a brand new one from the ground.
I used to really like Home Makeover because I was like, oh my god, I just wish my family would get like this huge mansion because I used to live in an apartment back when I was younger. So these like shows like this, my mom used to watch White Swap and stuff like that. So we was all into like reality, swap your lives or change your life up shows. So this was a big one in my household.
Round up. Although it's pretty obnoxious, it sounds like a pretty good deal, right? Well, it is a good deal until it's not. Foreclosures, angry community members, property tax increases, bills doubling to tripling, and even more family.
Hey, look, the property taxes is what would have hurt
struggles. Many of the families that were featured on Extreme Makeover Home Edition ended up worse off than before Ty Pennington showed up on their doorstep. But to fully understand how some families were negatively affected by what seems to be a very generous gift, we must first take a look at the families that were carefully chosen to get these home remodels. Typically, individuals would fill out an application form on the ABC website, which required them to provide a story of why they deserved a new house. You could also nominate another family, such as a friend or a member of your community. Every episode starts with a story of the deserving family in need, such as a family that lost their mother or father, a family with a disabled child, a family that's living in poverty, or a family affected by a natural disaster. Since this was a reality television show, it was very important to produce the most tear-jerking episodes possible, featuring stories that would deeply tug at the viewer's heartstrings. Some people argued that specifically targeting families who had endured unimaginable tragedy and faced overwhelming hardship was ABC exploiting.
I know ABC is exploiting like these people who had these tough tragedies and they had terrible lives, but they getting a nice house. Like, I had a bad life. Here, let me give you a house. We gonna make money off it, but you deserve to have a little something. And the house would be nice. It would be like the kids would get rooms with nice bunk beds. The parents, they would like give them huge bathrooms or whatever. Like, it was
exploiting them for better ratings. Joe Scarborough of MSNBC claimed that Extreme Makeover has a secret wish list of victims the show is trying to hunt down. They want to find a family who has multiple children with Down syndrome. They want to find a child with a rare condition that causes rapid aging and death. They want to find an extraordinary mom or dad who's diagnosed with Lou Gehrig's disease. Now, if the show was aggressively targeting these people, sure, that's a bit weird, especially because it's likely for the TV ratings and not for charity. However, it is still a good deed. Plus, if they helped out middle-class families or ones that seemed like they weren't that bad off, they would be criticized for not focusing on a more deserving family. I don't think Home Makeover is taking advantage of the families. However, I do think that monthly subscription sites take advantage of you and know that most people forget to cancel their subscriptions. Well, today's sponsor, Rocket Money, is here to help.
Rocket. Skip past the Rocket Money ad. Sorry, Patrick, man. I don't need Rocket Money, but I appreciate you for having it, and I shout out to Rocket Money for giving you that bag.
Vacation to destinations such as Hawaii, California, or Florida. During the family's trip, ABC would rally hundreds of contractors, construction workers, and volunteers in the local community to help. Sometimes they would even make Facebook pages so all their neighbors could stay up to date. Oftentimes, the volunteers are critical for the house getting completed on time. Then, Ty Pennington would video call the family and show his crew absolutely destroying their house. And sometimes they would take it too far. Take the Rapati Pierce family, for example. The mother and father were both police officers, and one tragic night, Christina was shot during a foot pursuit which led to her being paralyzed from the waist down. So they hired the LA SWAT team to place bombs inside of the house, detonate them, then drive a massive battering ram attached to an armored truck to destroy the house. Now obviously they have to do demolition to rebuild a new house from the ground up, but it would still be a bit traumatic to watch your home filled with all those memories get smashed to a million pieces. But the ridiculousness didn't stop there. Remember, this is reality TV. Just building a very practical, standard, and modest home wouldn't be good enough. So the carpenters and designers were pushed to create increasingly.
I'm saying, like, it's like Pimp My Ride, bro. Look at this house. Look, like, hold on, if I can get back to it, I'm gonna get to it. Look at
gimmicks to boost ratings, such as
they got a 60s theme going on. They got, I'm telling you, the kids' rooms was crazy on this show. So that's why we'll watch it out, because I grew up in an apartment. I had the little bunk bed futon joint, if y'all know what I'm talking about. I wanted that for so long, and it's because I saw it on shows like this. So, like, They was doing
this
it up.
airplane-themed bedroom with bags of peanuts as curtains, this very small backyard that was converted to a miniature go-kart track. How many trips around that go-kart track would a kid be able to do before they get absolutely sick of it? Why not a playroom with a ball pit containing 27,000 plastic balls? And my personal favorite, a teenager's room entirely made out of duct tape.
Desk. I have a bedspread and a pillowcase made out of duct tape.
The designers would take one small facet of their personality and dedicate the entire bedroom to it. Like this toddler who said he wants to be a cardiologist when he grows up, so they put EKG signals on the walls and a dresser designed to look like a human heart. Rooms like this seem very difficult to age in, and the tacky designs would actually take a considerable amount of effort to change. But sometimes it wasn't just tasteless designs. They would actually create new responsibilities that the family may not have even wanted. For example, this teenager got a jacuzzi that took up half the bedroom. Could you imagine your room constantly smelling like hot chlorine water? The cost to maintain a jacuzzi is only about $20 to $40 per month in sanitizer and chemicals, but even doing the maintenance is a burden that maybe nobody wanted. Just draining that water every 3 to 4 months like you're supposed to would be incredibly inconvenient. Another thing they did often was add huge fish tanks or animal habitats, like this boy's room that looks like the reptile section at a pet store, complete with frogs.
Like, as I'm saying, this is all kids' rooms. He ain't even got to the parents' rooms. The kids' rooms on the show went so crazy. It's like they was targeting us kids, man. Like, Mom, please sign for the show. And I can feel that. Like, I really can feel that.
Frogs, turtles, and lizards. Buying pet food, supplies, and cleaning the tanks is even more important because it will literally kill the animal if you don't. Extreme home makeover inserting new responsibility onto you without your choice isn't only annoying, for some people it created even more problems and financial stress that ultimately forced them to move out of their homes. Now, most of the time, ABC would entirely pay off the home for the family. However, owning a home is more than just paying the mortgage. Expenses such as property taxes, utilities, and home maintenance add up extremely quickly. There have been multiple reports of families whose expenses doubled, if not tripled, within the first year of living there. The Dickinson family went from an 1,800 square foot ranch to a 6-bedroom, 4-bathroom, 4,000 square foot super home equipped with cutting-edge technology.
Fire though, like look at this house. They got the double wraparound porch up top and bottom. Like they got the white picket fence. I know when they first got in there, it was a dream.
So it's only natural to assume that the bills would go up. Their electric bill alone went from about $200 per month to as high as $600 after. Their property taxes tripled. The wife, India, said she wasn't worried. My husband works and I work, so if I have to work another job to help keep it up, that's what I'll do. But as the years went on, it got worse and worse. And in October of 2016, William filed a Chapter 13 bankruptcy petition to save his home from foreclosure. He had only $5 in cash, $287 in a checking account, and $15 in a joint savings account at the time of filing. However, it seems like they never lost the house, because on 2022 Google Maps you can see William and his daughter standing outside the front door proud of their estate. But that situation was nothing compared to the Oakvath family. The Oakvaths were from Gilbert, Arizona, and their story began with a heartfelt letter from their daughter Cassandra, who requested the show to renovate the cancer ward where she had been a patient. Touched by Cassandra's selfless request, the producers not only granted her wish, but also surprised the family of 9 with a 2-story mansion. The construction involved a massive team of 1,600 contractors and volunteers that garnered attention from across the state. Unfortunately, this wasn't happily ever after. Utility costs reached $1,200 for electricity per month, and
bro, you got 6 kids, you gotta pay $1,200 for electricity, $400 for water, and then you gotta pay your taxes, right? And then you gotta feed all of them 6 kids, bro. I know for myself, I spend like $150, $200 every 2 weeks for groceries, so that's $400 a month. So 400 times 7, what is that? 2,800? Am I tripping? Don't clown me, because if this, yeah, clown me, let it go by, bro. But I think that's 2,800, but that's a lot of money, bro. That's what 3,000, 4,000, 4,400. Like that's a lot of money to be just out of nowhere be paid. You know what I mean?
$400 per month for water. Property taxes increased from $1,600 pre-makeover to $5,600 after.
$10,000. His bills probably he just jumped up a different tax bracket, bro. Like everybody can't have mansions.
Brian lost his job and was battling depression. With no other immediate solution, they used their house as collateral to take out a $405,000 loan. It was an adjustable rate mortgage, and the payments became too much for the family to handle. This was their dream home, and they knew they couldn't afford it. Craziest part is, they never even asked for this in the first place. The ironic part about these situations is that people's first instinct is to doubt the families. Why couldn't they figure it out? Why not get another job? Why didn't they just sell the house? Most of the time, nobody wants to buy these homes. The Oakvaths listed their house for $1.8 million, then slowly started to lower the price over the next year.
Bro, 1.8 million. It sold at, well, it's on $500,000. You know what I mean? That's a lot of money, and they ain't paid for the house, so to get $500,000 is nice. You know what I mean? But I don't know if they had the house when it was to be sold. You know what I mean?
Out of desperation, they ended up selling for $540K, just enough to break even on their loan and maybe put a down payment on a new place. The Beach family have been trying to sell their home since February 2013. The price tag started at $700,000 and is now down to $535,000. They say they've had to sell because the upkeep of the house is just too much now. It's a unique home and will take a unique person to buy it. Most critics forget the reason these families got these homes were because they were struggling in the first place. Many of them had pre-existing.
Look at these people. He got all these kids and people with him. How he gonna pay for a mansion? He barely making it in his 3-bedroom. That's why they got a 3-bedroom.
Debt. Some of them weren't even homeowners in the first place. They were renting the house and ABC bought it and built them a new one. Combine these money issues with the family trauma they were all experiencing, and it's a recipe for disaster. From my research, every single family that sold their house sold it for less than what it cost to build. But no matter what reason they chose to sell their house, they face backlash from the community. Since each home is a community project with hundreds of volunteers, they look at the home like a gift from their neighbors. The Hassel family decided to sell just 3 years later because it was too much stress to handle. Then a publication interviewed members of the community to see how they feel. A lot of people gave time, product, and services. Some are very angry. Some I've run into have asked, why do they deserve it? There was even a letter written to the local newspaper that titled, "The entire Hassel family story is a disgrace and humiliation to this community." The Harper family's house foreclosed, and the mayor's response was, "It's aggravating. It just makes you mad. You do that much work, and they just squander it."
So imagine if your rent went up, or now you don't got rent no more. You got your property taxes. You just went from paying $1,000, now you got to pay $5,000. Where am I getting this $4,000 from? My family's already struggling. Like, this is so insensitive, especially for a mayor. Like, come on, bro. Be with your peoples.
Because he helped vault a massive beam into place in the Harper's living room. The Nicholas family received a home after the father died from contracting hepatitis C when he was pricked with a patient's contaminated needle. 9 years later, the home was foreclosed because the mother could not manage the previous home mortgage and new property taxes that tripled in price. "I feel bad because so many people came together to help us," she said. "I know I shouldn't feel like I let them down, but I do." Many of the families feel guilt and shame that they couldn't live happily ever after. Most of them don't want to sell their houses, but the financial stress and family tragedy is overbearing. As the years went on, ABC scaled back their projects because so many homes were being foreclosed on. They eventually realized these over-the-top charity acts were too extreme to be truly helpful, but then their ratings dropped since the homes weren't extreme
If your home's not crazy, then your ratings will drop.
enough for TV, which
All right, y'all. So that's that. But like, as a closing remark, I'm gonna say this: that was a good show when they was giving the crazy houses, and I'm gonna be real. You watched it because like it's like the Pimp My Ride effect or the what's the name, MTV Cribs. Like, you want to see like the flashy, fancy. It's reality TV. You want to see the best. You know what I mean? But you got to think on the other hand, the after effects. Like, even on Pimp My Ride, they said those cars weren't good. You having a fish tank in your headrest, not nice. You getting a big house and you already struggling to pay your $1,000. You paying $10,000 a month, not gonna do you no better. You know what I mean? That would did better helping the dad find a job, helping the mom find a job, and letting them keep their 3-bedroom. You know what I mean? Or helping them try to get up or some kind of status like that instead of sending them to Disneyland. You know what I mean? But let me know what y'all think in the comments. I enjoyed this video. Shout out to Patrick CC. Until next time, I am RB Love, and